Thank you. You are all so special just for being here and rallying us on in this big adventure, the biggest ever. It's like hometown for me. I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, but for some reason, Bentonville is really, really special. It was while we were living here that our first 3 children were born. It was here that we bought our first house, and we bought our second house, and we bought our third house while we were here. And Asa first started his service here in Bentonville as your city attorney. It was here he made a lifelong commitment, as it turned out, to serve, to help. Because first and foremost, that's how government is supposed to work, isn't it? It's to serve the people. It's government by the people, with the people, for the people. Sovereignty rests with the people. It's about the people, and we have to keep that in mind as we serve. That's what I've found Asa to do all along. The first time we met was across dinner table, and he had not laid eyes on me nor I him ever before. It was a large school. It was our last semester, our last year at Bob Jones University, and he took interest in me and peppered me with all these questions, and he just absorbed them and kept asking me more. And that laid the foundation of us eventually marrying. And he brought me to Arkansas, and that was part of the wedding proposal, that I would be willing to come to Arkansas. And I said, well, you know, it really looks a lot like Georgia. And it rains a lot, and you got mountains like we do, and also I came along for it. And my senses were straight and true. He has a core that won't quit. He's well anchored in the scriptures. He's well anchored with the Lord, and he walks that every day, and he breathes that every day. And he always has yes. And you know, when you love God, you just have to love people. You just have to. That's part of the 2-part great law that Jesus gave to us, and it's in the Old Testament and the New Testament, just throughout the scriptures. And that's what I've seen him do. And the different responsibilities that he's taken on during the years, it was always, what do I need to get done here? What can I do to help people? How can I make it better? How can the government serve better the people and perform its responsibilities to the people? And that's what I've seen him do all through life, with our families, with me, with the children, what were my interests, what was education, what were the different pursuits that I might want to have while we're raising the family and the children. And he's been true and faithful and long-suffering and kind and gentle and generous as the Lord gave us the means. He's been insightful. He's been deliberative. We're both debaters. That's really how we courted, showing up at debate tournaments and things. But deliberative, thoughtful, looking at both sides, trying to figure out really how is the best way to handle all the circumstances, the principles, the righteousness, the goodness, caring for other people. I've seen him do that over and over again, whether it was working with the children at the Gravette Bible Church, a little community-wide service that we had there in Bible studies, me playing the piano and him teaching them soccer. So yes, he plays soccer besides basketball. And he plays a trumpet and a cornet. And I taught him to sing. It's really easy. Give me a piano, I can teach anybody. So it's been a wonderful life through all the different things that we've gone through. But looking back, we've not only lived for a little while, we were there when history was being made. We were there when President Reagan was elected. We were here in Benton County helping to count the votes when he was elected. That was when Asa went for United States Attorney. And that's the only reason we left this place, was because of that appointment. And we finally got to come back, and it was a real homecoming to come back. But the service, I saw him go through the crucible. He never lost hope. whether it was the 9/11 attack while he was head of the DEA and trying to track down Osama bin Laden. Yes, DEA agents were also working on it, not just CIA and FBI. He was there worried for our nation, worried for a dirty nuclear bomb, worried at sporting events that something wrong was really going to happen, and all these people could be hurt. He worried about that, and he took that responsibility very seriously. So I've seen him go through the fire. I've seen him go through the challenges, whether it was trying to explain to folks why he took different positions or why he really had to do the things that he did. He always made sure he stayed in communication and listened to what the fears and the concerns were of people. That's the man I married, and that's the man he still is, and I thank God for that. So I know his core, and his core is true and faithful and honest and loving God and his family. And he would love to serve you one more time in a very special way. And I really think with his long suffering and patience and insight and wisdom that he really is the man of the hour, the man for this tumultuous times that we're in and all the uncertainty and the failures around the world. It seems to be crashing down on us, but I just know he's the man for the hour and the man to be our leader. He is a proven leader. He's gone through the fire. He's ready. Welcome, my beloved, and your favorite governor, I should say, Asa Hutchinson.